Hey everybody, and welcome to Central Florida's Polk County and Sports Central. I mean, what a day to be alive in Central Florida.
Beautiful day outside. In fact, it's too bad we're not out on the golf course.
Would that be nice or what? But, you know, and then you think about the snowstorm up in the Northeast, and we've both been there.
We've both been there, and now we're here. And that's why we're here. And welcome to our first segment of Sports Central. I want to thank the folks at Travelodge Lakeland North for sponsoring our first segment. We got a great guest with us.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic, everybody. We've got some very special guests. We have Keith Bearfield, and then you did a special interview with David Van Sleet, who's the coach, general manager of the Wounded Warriors amputee softball team. And then, of course, the one, the only, Bill Tinsley. We're going to be talking about the Detroit Tigers. Spring training coming up, everybody. 4 days away when pitchers and catchers show up.
It's hard to believe. I mean, it was Thanksgiving, then it was Christmas, and now, you know, we're through that.
Will be Christmas again. You just never know.
It's baseball coming up. So.
Well, thanks so much for joining us, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. Well, welcome aboard. Wow, new coach in town, new sheriff in town. Keith Bearfield coming all the way from Oklahoma, Evangel University?
Evangel University in Springfield, Missouri. Then I was at Northwestern Oklahoma State in Alva, Oklahoma.
Yeah, so sort of a little dyslexia of thought there.
Yeah, but that happens.
Every once in a while, you know, dementia's a horrible thing.
But we work with it here at Sports Central. That's a part of our show that makes it so much fun. Well, Coach, this has got to be exciting for you to be starting a whole new program at Southeastern. They've never had football before, and to be able to get a 3,500-seat stadium and get a team put together has got to be awful exciting for you.
Well, we're tremendously excited about the whole venture. You know, it's something that, you know, I've never done before. I have coached before, but I've never started a new program before. And especially here in Central Florida, where there are athletes just all over the state looking for places to play in college. I know I spent most of my coaching career as a college coach, and as we mentioned, in Missouri and Oklahoma, trying to convince young men from the state of Florida to head up there and enjoy the snow in the winter and that type of thing. Now I like the opportunity to try to convince them just to stay right here so mom and dad can come and watch it. They don't have to worry about airplane flights.
Well, this is a brand new program. And I guess the question begs itself, who are you guys going to be playing? What is it, NAIA? You know, is it NCAA? Tell us a little bit about what's going on.
Well, we're an NAIA program, and as a university, we're a member of the Sun Conference, and there are some schools already participating in football or beginning to start football programs that are members of the Sun Conference. Most notably, right down the road here is Weber International. They're an NAIA school, and they've kind of been the Lone Ranger for a few years as far as NAIA competition, and they've been having to travel literally all over the country for games. But now there's Ave Maria. They have a program, and they've been competing for the last year or so. And then, of course, this coming year, Warner University is going to be competing, and so they will start in 2014. So that will give us 4 members of the Sun Conference that are competing in football. You know, 4 teams is not a schedule make. There'll be a couple of other teams that, from what I understand, the commissioner is trying to come in as an alliance member so that we can put together a football conference. And for us, 6 members of a football playing conference is important, because at that point we would be able to receive an automatic bid for the national playoffs. We get an automatic qualifier if one of our schools are ranked in the top 20 at the end of the season. And that's kind of what we all play for. I mean, we will play for conference championships, but the conference champions, they get to move on to the national playoffs.
Now, how did you begin to recruit players? I mean, as I look at this list, you've got quite a lineup of players, and how did you go about recruiting them?
Well, it's not the first year I've ever recruited.
Okay, so you had a little bit of a game plan on how to go knock on the door and say, we want you.
Well, and a part of my my history in college recruiting is I did spend quite a bit of time here in the state of Florida. I tell people that when I was in Springfield, people thought my hometown was Apopka, Florida, because we had so many players from Apopka over the years at our school and did well. But I think a lot of the signees that you see here from this past week are as a result of relationships that I've built up over the years, and coaches who have gotten in the habit of sending me their athletes, and they like the product that we've produced over the years. And so when I had the opportunity to come down here, they were more than happy to send them a little bit closer home. And I think also Richie Marsh, who is a local coach that grew up here in Polk County in Bartow. He has a lot of relationships down here, so he was able to garner some of our signees this year that it really made a difference. Plus, you see some of the Georgia players that are on our signing list. Coach Marsh was the last several years has been in the state of Georgia at Thomasville High School there. So those relationships that we have built up in the past have made up the bulk of the signing list here. Now what we're going to do in the next months is to go and visit with all of the coaches, especially here in Polk County and the surrounding area, and try to impress them with what we're trying to do at Southeastern and get more local kids.
Well, National Signing Day was a few days ago, and obviously to kind of paint a accurate picture here, the season for you is going to start in 2014, not 2013. So as you move forward, you're going to have a chance to look at some of these kids over the summer, late summer, and of course next fall. So National Signing Day next year is going to be a big deal. It's going to be an important day.
Every signing day is an important day. And one of the things that when I was talking with the administration at Southeastern about this program, they were kind of pointing towards maybe having the first signing class in 2014. And one of the things that I mentioned to them, I said, why put all your eggs in one basket? Let's go out and try to get the best that we can get in 2013, bring them here in the fall of 2013, get them involved in our strength and conditioning program. We're able to practice with them. We can't play any teams next year. We can't even scrimmage against another school, but we can practice. We can kind of get them in the routine.
Yeah,
they can have a year to grow academically and physically, and then we have another recruiting class. And this time around, we'll have a lead up of at least from now till sign. We'll have a year to get ready for signing date, and we'll have a year to look at all these prospects. I'll be adding more coaches to my staff in the meantime, and so we'll be able to get our machine, you might call it, in gear for next year, and we'll have I think we'll have a good run at 2014 and having a pretty good product on the field.
Well, it gives you a chance to let the players get used to your playbook. You have an aggressive offense that you like to run, and so being able to let the athletes start to get comfortable with that and figure out how you want to run an offense and get them in rhythm to that. Because when you watch any game, the big thing when an offense is clicking, they've got a rhythm going. The quarterback and the receivers, they've got their rhythm going. The run game's got a rhythm. But it takes a while for those players to understand the playbook, especially now. I don't know if you do a lot of audibles at the line, but there's that too that they've got to learn. So the game gets pretty complicated, and the more time that these kids can, study the game and get prepared for it, I think it's to your advantage, so that, when you do start a year from now in the fall of 14, they've had some time to play together and work out a lot of the kinks.
Oh, absolutely. And, I don't think my offense is the most complicated. It's real simple to me, but the thing is I've got to communicate that to the players who've never even been in my offense for a day yet, not even an hour. I've talked to some about 15 minutes about it, but that's about the length of our discussion. So I'm looking forward to that, getting in and getting them, and they're kind of getting into my mind as far as what offense is all about, and me being able to get into theirs, and we can kind of mesh things and get the timing down. But we'll start at a snail's pace. but I guarantee you, when August of 2014 rolls around, it'll be a lot more up tempo than that.
Well, Coach, one of the things that is always interesting about visiting with new talent coming in is your background, and part of your background, you were a pastor for 12 years in the Assemblies of God denomination.
Well, I wouldn't call myself a pastor, other than probably with my football team. I guess I was kind of like the football team's pastor, but I was a licensed minister, and that's really where I thought my life was headed. When I started college, I thought I would, be a pastor, and I was a biblical studies major, went to seminary, and then a funny thing happened the way to the church.
You caught a football.
I caught a football, got that fever, and I haven't been able to kick it ever since.
So did you, speaking of that type of thing, obviously the Apostle Paul talks a lot about sports. He's kind of one of my favorites to, using analogies and scripture and so on and so forth, running the race to win and so on and so forth. Does that play a factor in your coaching?
Well, every day when we go out to practice, and especially at when I've been in situations like this where I've coached at Christian high schools and Christian universities, those ideals and those types of things definitely are to the forefront. Now, when you're at a state university, it's a little bit different, and you have to kind of let your light shine, so to speak, on how you conduct yourself every day, and let them see and understand. So it's more of an unspoken word at that time. But when you're talking about in a situation here where we don't have to worry about our expression, that's definitely going to be the types of things that we'll be talking about and speaking about. And when you talk about the Apostle Paul, my favorite one is I press towards the mark, and that's what we want to do. We started it here in December when they hired me on, and we're going to be pressing all the way until 2:14 is when it kind of gets to a crescendo. But we're just going to keep it going from there.
Man, Keith, awesome. Unbelievable. Hank,
we look forward to coming out. We got to watch a game. It's going to be
absolutely.
some nice stuff. Some good football coming up.
Yeah, well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special segment with he thinks he's a special host. He really is a special host. Mr. Hank Longo.
I had
the opportunity to be at Smoke on the Water with the pig interview number 2.
Well, Rudy, number 2 coming up. Great event, though. They do a fabulous job at Smoke on the Water. Frank Schmoes and Kevin Ward and the whole gang that volunteers to put on this event to raise money for the Boys and Girls Club. And if it wasn't for this event, the Boys and Girls Club wouldn't be in operation. And it's all volunteer-based, and they put on a show. Rock and roll music, great barbecue, World Championship barbecue, a lot of fun. The Cypress Gardens water skiers. An event doesn't get any better than this, so check it out. Hello everyone, Hank Longo for PGTV here at Smoke on the Water. We got a flyover going on, a great day of barbecues, entertainment, some great bands. Let's go inside and get ourselves some barbecue. Well, there's a lot of important jobs here at Smoke on the Water to pull this whole huge event off, but there's no greater job than that of Mr. Frank Schmoes, the Grand Poobah, here at Smoke on the Water. And Frank, the 9th annual. Boy, does it seem like it's that many for you.
Wow, it's incredible. Actually, 10 years. We had to put the infrastructure in, but 10 years at this. It's unbelievable. Beautiful day here. We got
gorgeous.
Got 80 of the best barbecue teams from all over the country here. We got great entertainment on 3 stages today. We got the On the Edge Cypress Gardens water ski team here doing some shows. And we got a big wall mural artist competition up here, painting part of the club. A lot of great people here, great sponsors. You know, we're doing this for the kids.
It's all for the kids, and this enormous event that raises a lot of money for the Boys and Girls Club. And if it wasn't for this event, they'd be struggling, wouldn't they?
Big time. I mean, without this event here for the past 9 years, it's helped us, and with the tough economy, to keep, you know, all 3 of our clubs open. You know, we got Winter Haven, Haines City, and Lake Wales, and we serve all the surrounding communities. And you know, we were struggling, and we were hoping for, you know, something nice that had come through, and the barbecue came through, and, you know, the kids are fortunate, and we're blessed. You know, all the sponsors and the people and everybody, you know, they're doing a good thing. It's amazing to see the community come together for this.
It does, and all of this is done by volunteers. That's what people might not understand, is that all this going on, this is almost like a state fair type of an event, you know, with all the vendors and all the tents and all the bands and thousands of people coming through here a day, and it's all put on and it's organized so well, all by volunteers.
The volunteers, a lot of the volunteers have been here since year 1. They're amazing people. They know where they're going, they know what they're doing, you know, and they help make this this event run smooth, you know, and my hat's off to them. I didn't have a hat on.
Well, Frank, we can't thank you enough for your vision and your energy and your dedication and devotion to make this happen every year. And you are the captain of the ship, and you've done a fabulous job, and you will be blessed for all that you do for these kids. I really, you will be.
Thanks, Hank, for being here. I appreciate you.
Smoke on the Water with the Grand Poobah, Frank Schmoes. Smoke on the water. Oh my, hey, what would Smoke on the Water be without a little cornhole competition going on? I'm with my good old pal Rudy the Pig from Big Bad Wolf Barbecue Competition. Rudy, great to see you again this year.
Well, Hank, you know, it's always great seeing you. I love to be here at Smoke on the Water.
Well, another great event here at Smoke on the Water, and Big Bad Wolf Barbecue Competition is really cooking it up.
Hank, we do a great job. We got the best barbecue in the world, and I gotta say, you're looking mighty good again this year.
Rudy, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. You want to give a shout out to anybody?
Oh, yeah. How about Brian there at the camera? Good. He does a great job.
Well, thank you, Rudy, and keep up the good cooking, and hope to see you again next year.
Of course, you'll see me next year. I wouldn't miss Smoke on the Water.
All righty, folks, for my buddy Rudy the Pig at Big Bad Wolf Barbecue. As we walk around Smoke on the Water, picking up more great music, Ben Meyer and the Dirty Yankee right now performing for us.
Mind and other people business seem to be our own. I got all that I can do just to mind my own. Why don't you mind your own business? Mind your own business. Well, if you mind your business, you'll stay busy all the time.
One of the great things at Smoke on the Water is the Cypress Gardens water ski team putting on 2 ski shows today. I'm with the chief of the team, Mr. Mark Voisard. And Mark, great having you all out here at Smoke on the Water.
Thanks, Hank. It's great to be here. This place for the Boys and Girls Club is awesome. Everybody does such a good job to help them out, and it's a great cause. And the ski team came out to show off a little bit and help people come out and have a good time and eat some barbecue, you know.
Well, you know what's so great about this? You got the best water skiers in the world out here at Smoke on the Water performing a show. You're going to do one at 12:15 and one a little later on this afternoon.
That's right, and we got a full crowd, full array of skiers. Everything that you would have seen at Cypress Gardens is here today.
Well, we're glad we caught you before the show, and thanks so much for being out here, Mark.
All right, have a good day. Thanks.
We're at Smoke in the Water, and my pleasure to be with Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd. And Grady, delighted to have you here at this great event.
You know, it's my honor to be here. I love Smoke on the Water. This is their 9th year, you know. And by the way, the money they raise goes to help children in our community. So can you think of a more fun day to come out and eat a lot of great barbecue, watch the competition, and help children in our community? That's why we think we've got the best community in the nation, because we care about kids. And look at the thousands of people that are here today who believe the same thing.
Well, that's right, Grady, and it's just a testament to what great community support we have, and it's also a testament to the great job you and all of your staff does in protecting us and making Polk County such a safe place to live.
Thank you. It's my honor to be the sheriff, but the men and women of the sheriff's office are the ones who put their life on the line and keep us safe. And guess what? Crime's down over 8% from last year. We're at a 41-year low. It is one of the safest places in the entire state of Florida to live.
Well, we thank you so much, and for all your officers that are here today that are just making this a wonderful event as well. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much. Y'all have a great day. Eat lots of barbecue. Help the kids.
Thank you, Grady Judd. Thank you so much.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Well, another great day here at Smoke in the Water, the 9th annual, and we've had a lot of fun, a lot of great food, a lot of great music, water ski show, a lot of fun people, and for a great cause, raising money for the Boys and Girls Club. Thanks so much for joining us, and for PGTV Sports Central, I'm Hank Longo, and we'll see you back here next year.
Hey, everybody, I'm not sure what you think about that interview, Mr. Longo.
Rudy and I are getting to be good buddies out there, but some great barbecue, great event, and a lot of fun as we get ready for our second segment here on Sports Central, and we want to thank our sponsor, Holiday Inn Lakeland North, for their sponsorship. And this is a neat show. It's going to be an interview that I conducted with the Wounded Warriors amputee softball team coach and founder, David Van Sleet. What a program, Art.
Oh, unbelievable. And they spanked the senior all-stars. You say the senior all-stars, these aren't a bunch of guys that are, you know, it takes them 2 hours to run from home plate to first base. These guys are like world-class. Some former Major League Baseball players are involved in this. And the Wounded Warriors amputee softball team spanked them. I mean, it was unbelievable. Fantastic interview. Ladies and gentlemen, you have got to check this out. Hank and Mark will be back right after this.
Hello, everyone. Hank Longo for Sports Central and PGTV, and we're at Simmer Young Softball Park in Auburndale, and I am with the founder, the creator, David Van Sleet of Wounded Warrior Amputee Softball Team. And David, boy, what an inspirational story we've got for all the folks watching the show today. And let's talk to how you got into this Wounded Warrior Amputee Softball Team program. What inspired this thought?
Well, thanks for welcoming to the show, Hank. I'm a United States Army veteran. I went to college, and I've been in the field of prosthetics both on the clinical administrative side my whole life and always around the game of softball and being employed by the Department of Veterans Affairs. So the University of Arizona obtained a congressional grant, and they had 2 years prior of a sports camp with veterans that were pretty much disabled in wheelchairs, and I helped them get some of those veterans to attend their camp. In my role with the Department of Veterans Affairs, as I was in charge of prosthetics for the whole southwest part of the country. So basically, when it came for the third year, they asked, what sport do you think we'd be interested in doing the following year? And I said, I think we'd like to do softball, but not in wheelchairs.
And why'd you pick softball? Because were they playing softball in wheelchairs at the time, or?
Well, there are some leagues around the country that they do play in wheelchairs, but the reason I picked softball is because I've always been around the game as either a player, a coach, a manager. Pretty much my life's been around softball.
So you had that experience. You thought, what a great outlet for these fellas to get back into some competitive sport and, re-energize their life. I'm sure this has done a great thing for just bringing out a positive attitude in their lifestyle now.
When I saw what was coming back from Iraq and Afghanistan and the military in the past few years, I could see something was missing in their life. And they all were athletes once before, and they never thought they were going to, live. They didn't think they were going to walk, and they certainly weren't going to play a sport again. So basically, this gave them a second chance to be a kid again, being an athlete again.
And when you're dealing with the amputee, is it a leg amputee only, or?
No, we have 14 guys on our team, and they've been hand-selected from around the country. They're all veterans now. At one time, we had 4 active duty guys traveling with us, but everyone's been medically discharged from the branch of service. Our team's half Army, half Marines, half Iraq, half Afghanistan, and a couple from the military. And basically, I saw what was coming back through my prosthetic position. So we have below-the-knee amputees. We got 2 guys on our team missing both legs below the knees. We have guys missing a hand below the elbow, part of the arm, and we have one gentleman on our team that's missing his whole shoulder down.
Oh my gosh. That's devastating to think of. Those are the casualties of war you don't hear a lot about. I mean, you hear the casualties, but you don't hear of the casualties that aren't fatal. And the people that, are losing arms and legs, that are defending our country for our freedom, and these are the injuries that they have to live with for the rest of their life. And I'm sure when they're coming back, they've got a lot to deal with inside to get back into the mainstream of life, so to say, and to kind of lift up their spirits. And this has got to be something that's really been a jump start in that part of their life.
Like I said, we got 14 great guys. Athletically, they're very gifted, even with a prosthetic device. But they're very good mentally, and their mental health and their chemistry, everything's working fine. We had a counselor travel with our team for the first 3 months from the Department of Veterans Affairs, just to make sure everyone on our team belonged on our team, both physically and mentally. And we got a great bunch of guys, and we're always looking for that next veteran to come out and join our team. Yeah.
Now, let's talk about how this started. We chatted a little bit before we got into our interview, and you're saying Hankus has gone from like a little spark into a big flaming fire. Talk about that a bit.
Well, we're only 1 year and 3/4 old, and we've been to 18 states and 45 cities. Believe it or not, this is our 46th city coming here. We've been in Sports Illustrated magazine. We've been in HBO Real Sports with Brian Gumbel. We've been on ESPN. We've gone to Hawaii for a week and played at 5 military bases in 7 days. We played at Cooperstown, Doubleday Field. Been honored at Yankee Stadium at home plate.
Oh my gosh.
It's gone pretty big.
That is incredible. Now, how do you select your games? How does that process work?
Well, everything comes through my office. We only do things that are good for the community, whether it be a military team, a fire department, a police department team, colleges, universities, celebrity teams, everything that means something good for the community.
So your team is playing another team?
Yes.
Because tonight we talked, and we've got the senior all-stars here that are just finishing up over there, and that's the team that the Wounded Warrior amputee softball team is playing tonight. So you take on just anybody in play.
And we only play able-bodied teams, so we're a good team. You'll see.
Okay.
You'll see.
This is great. These are amputees that really can hold their own with anybody. They're coming to play softball.
Well, I don't know with anybody, but they're getting the game down.
They're getting the game down. That is great. And where are you based out of? Where's home?
I live in Florida. I'm the only one from Florida. I live in Estero, Florida. Everyone else is from all around the country. We have 3 states with 2 players. We have 2 in the state of Washington, 2 in Pennsylvania, and 2 in Wisconsin. Everybody else is sprinkled all around the country.
And how do you select them? How do they get involved with this program? How do they find out about it? And then how do you talked about hand-picking the team, and how did all of that come about?
Well, first of all, I had the resources to do that with the Department of Veterans Affairs, be able to use our system to find most of the players. So when we first went away to the University of Arizona, we took 20 players. Well, 8 of those guys have come forward with me from that week on, and the other ones have been selected either through word of mouth of these players or come out and tried out for our team throughout the country.
That's amazing. As you have gotten more and more involved with this, as it's grown, what is one of the most memorable experience you've had from one of the games that you've played?
Well, I've got a number of experiences. Playing on Doubleday Field in Cooperstown, New York, that was pretty special. The Washington Nationals are one of our biggest supporters. We played after the Boston Red Sox Washington Nationals last spring training game of the season this past year. We played at a number of venues that are very memorable.
And some of the celebrities that you've gotten to meet since you've done this?
Jenny Finch, the face of women's softball for the world, brought us down to Sulphur, Louisiana for a couple games in 2 days, and she packed the stadium. Absolutely amazing. But we've played a number of the female Olympic gold medalists from various Olympic teams. We've played a number of professional former baseball, football, hockey, celebrities from Hollywood, from politics. We played the mayor of Washington, D.C. We've played we've been with Vern.
This is amazing, because this has been a year and a half.
Yeah, in a year and a half. There's a long list of celebrities we've been with.
That is incredible. That is incredible. And do you have one player on the team that's like the superstar?
No, we've got a number of them. We do have one player on our team who's 51 years old who lost his right foot in Desert Storm. And he's a policeman. He's 51 years old out in Phoenix, Arizona. Wow. Very good player. We've got a shortstop on our team that was throwing 89 miles an hour in high school. Played junior college and then joined the Army, became a paratrooper. We have a young man playing first base, 23 years old, lost both legs at 19. I'm humbled when I see this kid play. He's good. But we have a lot of other players that are very good on our team. We have another guy on our team was on the All-Marine softball team before he lost his leg. Everyone's got a story on our team. I wish I could name all of them, but they're all great athletes in their own right.
That's fantastic. You've been on the road. You say you've been in 46 states.
18 states, 46 cities.
18 states, 46 cities. If people want to find out about the Wounded Warrior Amputee Softball Team, do you have a website they can go to?
Yes, we do, and it's exactly what you said. It's www.woundedwarrioramputeesoftballteam.org. We get about 12 hits a day asking us to come play here or there. We're booked for all of 2013. We've booked probably a third of 14 already. Our season doesn't end. We just keep traveling.
You just keep traveling. That is fantastic. And speaking of, you just keep traveling, where are you off to next?
We're going with the Washington Nationals to spring training in Viera, Florida.
Well, David, we're going to be here tonight for the team to play. We're going to watch them take on the Senior All-Stars, which is going to be fantastic. I'm looking really forward to seeing these fellas play some ball. And I want to thank you so much for joining us on the show. And, the best of luck to you. I think you're doing a very fantastic thing for these people, and God bless you. And of course, we can't say enough about what heroism these fellows have been for our country, and what a great example they set for other people that might have a disability of some kind, that there's a positive side to all of this.
Well, Hank, I want to thank you. I want to thank Senior Softball USA. I want to thank Polk County, just everyone involved that making this happen for us. You know, we've got great supporters behind the scenes with, you know, the Washington Nationals and Louisville Slugger and Össur, the #1 prosthetic company in the world. You know, it's Jimmy Buffett from Margaritaville,
Wow.
Jenny Finch. It just goes on and on. But it's these small communities like this that are sometimes our biggest supporters. So we thank you very much.
Well, we're delighted that you're here, ladies and gentlemen. David Van Sleet from Wounded Warrior Amputee Softball Team. Great segment coming up after this, so you can watch these fellas play some softball. Hank Longo here at Simmers Park in Auberdale for Sports Central. You're going to enjoy this next segment coming up. We'll see you right after this.
Three-D Blue Chip is an invitation-only camp where we invite kids from across the United States to come here and try out for our camp that we have this summer in Baltimore. At each field we have 2 regional evaluators who evaluate each kid, how they play, and we try and pick the top 20% that'll go on to the next phase this summer in Baltimore. 3D Blue Chip is our second year of a lacrosse camp. It's come about with the merger of 3D lacrosse camps based in Denver, Colorado, and Blue Chip lacrosse camp based in Baltimore, Maryland. Lacrosse is a game that was originated by the North American Indians up along the St. Lawrence River between Canada and the United States. It's the fastest growing high school sport in America. In the last 10 years, it's increased from 1,000 high schools playing lacrosse to over 3,000 high schools playing lacrosse.
What makes our Blue Chip camp unique with our training is most tournaments or camps that players attend, they just roll the ball out and let the kids play. What we try and do is develop them inside of our system using our box and field hybrid development system. It focuses on skill development, athletic development, and then player IQ development as well. So we're trying to teach smarter players with greater skills, and I think that's what separates our camp from others that are out there in the marketplace.
One of the things that we set out to do with this camp series was to find really talented players from the corners of the country that hadn't had the opportunity to showcase their skills or be found, so to speak, by college scouts and recruiters. So our goal is to spend literally the entire year finding those players. I hope to bring them out here and give kids the opportunity that they wouldn't otherwise have received. The fact that we have coaches out here that are really paying attention to the smallest details of an offensive or defensive perspective not only gives them a lot more to take away than a typical recruiting camp, but it also makes the level of play during the games that much better for our evaluators and our scouts that are down here.
As a fairly large lacrosse organization, we're pretty thorough in terms of picking, evaluating, choosing locations. And we happened upon this location about a year ago, and it just really fit our needs in terms of location, proximity to airports, turf fields, easy access, nice hotels, and it was a pretty easy choice for this particular product. We actually run 5 different camps in 5 regions of the country: West, South, Midwest, and Mid-Atlantic. We have almost 2,000 participants that come to the 5 different camps. 4 of the 5 camps are actually held here at this facility, so we're bringing in about 1,500 players from around the country. Fully intend and plan on coming back here next year. Strong numbers. Will most probably be 1,500 to 1,800 players next year, just as it is this year. For more information on this event and others, you can go to our website, 3dlacrosse.com.
Hello, everybody. Rocking and rolling here on Sports Central. My co-host Hank Longo sitting to my right, to your left, on your television dial. They don't have dials anymore. They just have clickers.
They just have clickers.
You remember dials?
I remember dials.
Yeah, 3 channels.
I remember black and white. Unfortunately.
Well, our very special guest.
Mark remembers just radio, so that's how far that one goes back.
Well, smoke signals weren't too far on the distant horizon for our next special guest, Bill Tinsley.
Bring it on down, Bill.
Welcome aboard, Bill.
Well, thanks, guys. You know, when you bring a guest on that's really got a face that's suited for radio, that's probably the best introduction you can get.
It's going south quick, everybody.
So that's why we'll invite you to know that our sponsor of this segment of Sports Central is Harry's Old Place in beautiful Winter Haven, Florida.
Oh, it's on Cypress.
Cypress Gardens Road.
Harry in the Bag.
Harry in the Bag. It's great.
If you haven't been there, that is just awesome.
It is. It's one of my favorites. One of my favorites.
He's got all this stuff on it. I begged him for 20 years. Tell me the recipe, but can't do it.
Can't do it.
Can't do it. Can't do it. As mentioned earlier, we do have a special guest with us, and a good friend and a guy that has done more to keep the Detroit Tigers in Lakeland and the longest running relationship between a Major League Baseball team and any spring training venue in the world, Mr. Bill Tinsley. And Bill, you've been, we kidded about it, but you've been around for a long time. You know the players, you know the coaches, you know the front office staff, and you're in a new position as the liaison after a stellar career with the city of Lakeland, envy of many in the Parks and Rec industry. But the fact of the matter is you've got a heavy burden to carry here because we're trying to keep them around for another 77 years.
Yeah.
So,
this is our 77th we're going into, Mark. So
right.
Our 77th spring. And I've been around a long time, 41 of those years.
Yeah, well,
wow.
Spring chicken, Bill.
Yeah, that's why y'all's hair is turned gray, mine turned loose.
It's all good stuff, and we're certainly optimistic that the work that you and Ron Myers have put in. You've traveled to the Cactus League to check out all the facilities there. You traveled the Grapefruit League here in the wonderful state of Florida. You checked out what's there, and an eye on the competition is important when negotiating with a baseball icon like the Tigers and Mr. Ilitch.
Yeah, certainly. I think we probably have the best owner in baseball with Mike Ilitch. There's no question.
And he's a nice man.
He's a wonderful guy.
And a great businessman.
He also has been an extremely generous owner, as seen by Detroit Tigers payroll in a mid-market and the Midwest. And he puts a pretty competitive team on the field, but not without having to personally sacrifice and write some checks. He believes he wants a ring, the World Series ring, ultimately, and he's vested in that.
Well, I think a corollary to that, Bill, too, is, everybody thinks, Major League Baseball, paid players. And Mr. Ilitch gives back to the community like nobody's business. He's incredible. He's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy is incredible.
If you haven't been to Detroit in the last 10 years, it's phenomenal. His investment of not only his corporate holdings and so forth to vest those downtown when the trend was to quote relocate out of downtown,
to get out of downtown,
to rebuild his stadium there, and he has become one of the really true economic engines in the Detroit area. Mm-hmm. But he and his entire family are so involved in the arts in the Midwest. They're involved in our arts program here, our own.
He still owns the Fox, right?
He still owns the Fox Theater, actually 12 entertainment venues. Olympia Entertainment is one of his holdings, the Village Holdings, and it's incredible. I was up showing drawings and so forth in Detroit in December, caught a Kenny Rogers Christmas concert, his 17th Christmas concert, incredible, in the Fox. Just the millions of dollars he spent restoring that to its original fine self, and he did it in an area that was so depressed, but the stimulation of that has kept lifeblood in that whole sector of the city.
It's pumping money right back into that area by virtue of the fact people are coming now back downtown. You know, they come to the games. They're obviously Ford Field is there, but you have the Fox. You know, and I don't know, Bill. I can't even remember how many years it was, but we did a tour on our North with the Tigers trip to the Fox, and he's just like so proud of that. You know, it's just like, and he ought to be.
Every reason to be. Absolutely.
You know, and I think what he doesn't get enough credit for is the give back to the community. I mean, it is just, you know, I've said it a couple times, but when people look at taking your own money and investing it in a risky, what's perceived as a risky situation, and in a selfless way, not a selfish way, my hat's off to him. And he's just very approachable. You can talk to him just like you and I are talking right now. Wow. At least I'm talking, you're listening.
Yeah.
It's a habit you gain around work, isn't it?
He does good, though. Let's talk about the Tigers. I mean,
I love my favorite subject.
Yeah, let's get into that and share with our audience the exciting things that are going on and what you're trying to help develop with the team.
Well, I think to kind of package this, the timeline's important. And our contract, our current existing 15-year agreement with the Tigers is up in 2016. That seems like a long way away. The reality is that with the improvements, because of the changes in baseball that have happened in the last 10 years, that the facility no longer is accommodating adequately in terms of player development, even in terms of fan experience, our ability to utilize the full Tigertown complex year-round. These features that have been identified as being, quote, deficits in our existing facility have to be met. They have to be identified, they have to be funded, and then they have to be designed and permitted, and that's a 12-month operation.
And that takes time.
It'll have to be phased because a lot of people aren't aware that baseball business, it goes on. It's not a 7 or 8 week spring training activity. It's year-round.
Yeah.
Since the new year, this year, we've had 200 fantasy campers, 198 fantasy campers. We've had soccer clinics. Coaches clinics for a week. We've got the Spanish baseball team. We've had rugby. The place, we threw a pig fest in there and put 45,000 people through over the weekend. But that complex, pitchers and catchers, the first to arrive in camp, aren't supposed to report do report on the 12th, next Tuesday. Yesterday, the complex was at full speed. Minus coaches, minus being in the locker room and so forth. But today's athlete is such his body is so important to him. He's such an asset, and he's an asset to the organization. So strength and conditioning coaches are there year-round at the facility and working with these guys no matter where they're at in the country. But they more and more throughout Florida and Arizona, these players are learning that they cannot come to spring training and be ready to play baseball in the World Baseball Classic in 2 weeks. So they're here in November, December.
Yeah, you're not coming to spring training to start to get in shape for the summer. You come to spring training in shape to start to play ball.
Exactly.
And that, Bill, that model has changed. Years ago in the Roger Maris, Mickey Mantle days and all of that, they got in shape in spring training. Now it's And I think from a team's, 2 points. One, I think from a team's perspective, it's a year-round business. But secondly, for the community, and you can dress them in whichever sequence you want to, but from a community standpoint, this is an investment in economic development.
Huge.
Which provides a huge return back to the community, not only in terms of jobs, direct jobs, and new money into the community and so on. I mean, both those things, those dynamics have changed since, we were playing Little League and that type of stuff.
No question. And, the state of Florida did their last study and determined that the average team, which Detroit is certainly well above average in terms of their attractiveness and their draw on the road, they outdrew the Yankees on the road last year in spring training. Their appeal, they've got that superpower player on their club right now that's really drawing. And even for practices, we'll have 3,000 or 4,000 people. But the state determined that economic impact was $45 million a year. That's for spring training.
6 weeks of spring training.
6 weeks of spring training. the reality is that those other 11 months of the year, 10 months of the year, that there are at all times 60 or 80 players that are here, either in instructional league, the Flying Tigers, the extended spring, the rookie league, all of these activities that are going on throughout the year. That we're buying food from U.S. Foods, we're buying, or somewhere. If they're not a sponsor, I'm sorry. They should be.
They will be now.
They should be.
We're going to send them a bill. They'll
Huge
get the
ticket.
invoice.
At our local healthcare facility.
It's almost sometimes hard to put in words what Bill Tinsley has meant to the city of Lakeland, and of course the relationship with the Tigers.
A phenomenal job, and he's definitely the man to be helping with this project as we continue to move forward with Detroit Tigers and our future agreement with them.
Well, you know, I said just a few seconds earlier, actually, that Bill has some interesting stories.
I'm sure he does.
You know, the only place you're going to get it, ladies and gentlemen, some insights into Major League Baseball spring training is right here on PGTV's Sports Central. But, you know, before we do that, which hopefully next month we'll get a chance to get Bill back on the air.
See how things are going with spring training underway.
But we have a lot of stuff going on here in Polk County. It is unbelievable. You talk about a amateur sports capital. There's few that rival Central Florida's Polk County, and here's one of the reasons why. Our very own Jessica Roberts with the local update. Check it out, everybody.
Welcome to Local Update. I'm Jessica Roberts, here to tell you about some great upcoming events taking place across Polk County this month. The Food Truck Rally pulls into Munn Park in downtown Lakeland on the second Thursday of every month from 6 to 9 p.m. Come and enjoy a variety of Florida food trucks and their delicious cuisine. The legend himself, Kenny Rogers, is coming to the Lakeland Center on Valentine's Day. The legendary country music star will perform hits like The Gambler, Lady, and We've Got Tonight to ensure this year's Valentine's Day will be a special event for all who attend. The 2013 Florida Open Pistol Shooting Tournament will be held February 15th through the 17th at Universal Shooting Academy in Frostproof. Champion shooter Frank Garcia will serve as the match director, as more than 300 shooters will compete in a number of different events throughout the weekend. The 8th annual Polk County Cattlemen's Ranch Rodeo and Trade Show hits Bartow the Saturday the 16th from 9 to 4. The Rodeo and Trade Show features an exciting competition of cowboys and cowgirls displaying their ranching skills in different rodeo events, including calf branding, double mugging, team sorting, and colt riding, just to name a few. Don't miss out on all the excitement and family fun. The 67th Annual Tiger Barbecue kicks off another year of Detroit Tigers spring training at Joker Marchant Stadium, February 19th at 6. Enjoy steaks, ribs, sausage, corn on the cob, and more of your favorite barbecue fixings at this year's celebration. Attendees will also receive a souvenir mug. The Imperial Symphony Orchestra presents Pacific Rhythms at the Yuki Theater located in the Lakeland Center on February 19th. Join the orchestra as they take you on an island tour around the Pacific with a variety of musical styles indicative of the islands on the Pacific Rim. The Florida High School Athletic Association Girls State Basketball Finals start February 19th and go through the 23rd at the Lakeland Center, directly followed by the Boys Basketball State Finals February 26th through March 2nd. Both the boys and girls tournaments will include 32 qualifying teams from classes 1A through 8A. The musical 9 to 5 comes to Theater Winter Haven for a number of weekends throughout February and March. This hilarious story of friendship and revenge comes direct from Broadway and features Dolly Parton's Tony Award-winning score. The Vienna Boys Choir comes to the Lakeland Center February 21st at 7:30. Together with members of the Vienna Philharmonic Orchestra and the State Opera Chorus, the Vienna Boys Choir puts on a show you will not soon forget. Calling all Boy Scouts, Fantasy of Flight presents a unique and unforgettable opportunity for Scouts to earn their American Heritage Merit Badge at the Boy Scout Camporee the weekend of February 22nd. Scouts will earn the Merit Badge amidst one of the world's most impressive private aircraft collections, including 40 rare and vintage aircraft, providing for a weekend filled of fun. Enjoy a taste of Greek culture in Winter Haven at the St. Sophia Greek Festival, February 22nd through the 24th. This weekend-long festival features Greek music, cuisine, dance lessons, and activities for the entire family. Take this unique opportunity to enjoy a large variety of homemade Greek food, drinks, and admission to the festival is just $2. Children under 12 are free. The 4th annual Ribs on the Ridge barbecue competition comes to Lake Eva Park in Haines City, February 22nd and 23rd. This growing event has been the Florida Barbecue Association's largest competition for the past 2 years, with approximately 100 teams competing. Don't miss out on the delicious barbecue from around the state. The Light Up the Night 5K will be held in downtown Winter Haven Central Park, February 22nd. Companies and organizations are encouraged to show their team spirit for a chance to win the most spirited prize. The race begins at 6:30. There will be an after party directly following the race featuring live music and food trucks. The Bone Valley Gem, Mineral, and Fossil Show and Sale will be held at First Presbyterian Church of Lakeland, February 23rd from 9 to 4. The show will feature hourly door prizes, kids' treasure digs, educational displays, and even a silent auction. Local Scout troops will be on site with refreshments and Girl Scout cookies. Healing Heroes Freedom Fest comes to Lakeland February 23rd from 10 to 5. This event will be held at Sun and Fun and features a food truck rally, car and bike show, live music, and even a special appearance by actor Ryan Hurst from the FX network hit Sons of Anarchy. The Russ Matt Central Florida Baseball Invitational will be held February 20th through the 30th of March. Over 200 college baseball programs from around the United States will be competing in this annual event. Be sure to catch all the action at this highly competitive tournament at Lake Myrtle Sports Park, as well as other various baseball fields around the county. 4 Days of Flying begins February 27th and runs through March 2nd as Frank Tiano Enterprises presents Florida Jets, the largest worldwide model aviation event at Paradise Field in Lakeland. Come check out over 300 radio-controlled jets, manufacturer exhibits, daily demos, and tons of food and fun for the entire family. Well, this has been a quick glance at some of the exciting events taking place across Polk County this month. For details about these events and more, go to visitcentralflorida.org, centralfloridasports.com, or download the new Explore Central Florida app for your Apple or Android device. Until next time, I'm Jessica Roberts from Polk County's Tourism and Sports Marketing Office. I look forward to seeing you at some of these great events.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, this edition of Sports Central has come to a close. I mean, Hank.
It flew by.
This is unbelievable.
And fun show.
Yeah, well, we've had some great opportunities. I know we have some guests to thank, some special supporters to thank. But ladies
some special folks that have made their contribution to supporting Sports Central. Contempo Vacation Homes, Days Inn and Suites in Lakeland, Hampton Inn, Lakeland South, People's Barbecue, and Travelodge Lakeland. Thank you so much for all your support.
Well, everyone, if you can't stand not seeing Hank and Mark on a daily basis, you can do that. Okay, you've got to check us out every single day, and make sure you catch our next live show, which is February 22nd. But between now and then, the dates, the days, and times for PGTV Sports Central. Many thanks go out to the superb production expertise and talent that we have here at PGTV, and of course the Board of County Commissioners. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for Sports Central. We'll see you again next time.